I've known John for quite a bit of my life, and he's always been an eccentric character, and that's something that I've always loved about him. When we were younger, we would hang out at the playground in elementary school, and we'd run around and stuff with Jordan, Levi, and them. But I'm going to talk about what we do more of today. We play D&D a lot, and that's something I know he loves to do. And he had this character named Zarkov, and that's his best one yet. And he's always had weird ways of putting real life stuff into D&D. Like he'd make him rush in and stuff, and he'd always just have him be himself in that game. And that's something we've always loved about him is how he acts. He's just always had this way with words. It's weird because it's always kind of messed up slightly, but we love him for how he does it because he's our John and no one can change him. That's what makes him him. We all love to hang out with him and stuff.
Surprisingly, John is quite the athlete. No, he's not a big old football player, but he's a natural swimmer. It was always surprising when John would show up to the pool and just swim like a fish. He'd glide through the water with his eyes open the whole time, and I was always left wondering, why am I, the one who struggles with swimming, the lifeguard, and not John, who was one of the most talented swimmers I've ever seen. Thank you, John, for trying to teach me to swim better, as well as being a kind, compassionate young man who always has something funny to show us.
John has always been quite the interesting little fella. At first, John seemed like a quiet, shy teenage boy. But boy, let me tell you, once you get to know him, he is exactly the opposite. Over the past couple of years, John has really broken out of his shell. For example, the whole grade knows they're in for an epic treat whenever it's John's turn for a presentation. You honestly never know what you're going to get. There have been many times when he's ran around the room yelling dog sounds, and other times where he's perfectly normal, and it's slightly concerning. His confidence and energy just goes through the roof, and boy is it an experience. John, thank you for the quirky, smart, and inspiring guy you are. You've helped make each of us into the weird, nerdy guys that get to have you as a friend. We can't wait to see the many more lives you'll inspire like you did ours.